Most people ruin their 40s in their 20s and they don't even know it until it's too late. But after this video, you will never say no one warned you. The seeds you are planting now in your 20s, how you spend your time, how you spend your money, how you think, who you hang out with, and especially what you chase will become the harvest that you eat in your 40s, or the chunks of regret that will choke your 40s. Some people look successful in their 20s while they are secretly losing the decades ahead, while some others look simple and slow in their 20s, but they are gradually planting the seeds of great empires that will shock the world tomorrow. I'll show you the difference in this video. This video is not meant to scare you, but to prepare you, because if you miss this window, you either be crying in your 40s wondering where the time went, or starting over at 45 again and hanging your head in shame of doing what 20-year-olds are doing. But to flip that script and give you a 40s that your 20s will be so proud you gave you, let's watch this video to the end. My name is China. I'm an expert global business solutions expert and your real estate success strategist, known as the mayor of thousands. The business channel where I discuss only business, and you can do business directly with me, called My Ace TV, and you can check it out right here. This channel is my personal contribution channel where I'll be giving you exceptional values on business, personal finance, personal development, and life success. And I'll be doing that with a lot of fun, because my one word is fun. And I always seek teach, inspire, create, collaborate. You can just call me the contributor. Join the exceptional 5% that will watch this video to the end, because you're very special people and you're rare. Welcome on board. Let's grow it together. You're welcome to today's live presentation recap. Remember that every Sunday we have a live presentation where we take a topic, and in that topic I'm going to lecture and teach you for 30 minutes. But more than the topic, on Sundays is an opportunity for you to ask any question in the world and I'll answer you, because every Sunday I take questions from 10 people. But more than that, opportunity for the interactiveness is also the opportunity for you to interact and win, where I'll be asking a question from the topic of the day, and the 10 people that answer correctly or any other criteria we choose will walk away with 30,000 naira each, because we are 30,000 subscribers in this channel. When we get to 40,000 subscribers, we're giving out 40,000 naira each to 10 people every Sunday by 6 p.m. GMT +1. And that's the place where yours sincerely and you will meet learning and earning. And of course, we do it in a fun style, because my one word is fun. So our last topic and the recap for today is your 20s or your 40s. What you do now determines everything. Because of the rowdiness of the live session where we are shooting live and there's no time to put this together, I'm even rushing so that I finish the presentation in 30 minutes and take your answers and other things in 30 minutes. It's usually rowdy. So we've dedicated to giving you distilled still value by doing this recap, where we are cool, calm, and calculated and dishing out value for you. Moreover, it takes very few people to consume content of value that is above 8 minutes. So if you are going to watch this to the end, you are already a success, because commitment to the learning process is actually a proof of commitment to the earning process. So let's get right into the last topic. Your 20s or your 40s, what you do now determines everything. This is so important that most people's lives are ruined or made in between 20 and 40. And if you're above 40 and you missed it, this is your second chance. But if you're below 40 or in your 20s, This is the opportunity for you to change your destination, because your destination changes the day you change your direction. So you've not gone far in the journey. This is the time to find the perfect direction and retrace your steps. So do you want to enjoy your 40s or regret them? Most people waste their 20s and pay for it with stress, struggle, and second chances in their 40s, but not you. Because after this video, you know exactly what to do and what not to do before it's too late. And that's why we're doing this for you. As Warren Buffett famously said about the lateness of realizing the power of habit. He said, the chains of habits are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Your 20s are still fluid and fresh like wet cement. What you write now in your 20s becomes your reality in your 40s. So it's a choice that you choose to either play in your 20s and be walking behind in your 40s, or build in your 20s and be walking ahead or even flying in your 40s. The choice is yours. But before we get into that, let's tell you the totality of the seasons of life. The totality of the seasons of life has 4 phases of life. An average human life is above 60 if you're lucky, 60 and above. And in those 60 and above years, there are 4 major seasons. The first season of spring is the season of the spring of growth and learning. And that's between ages 0 and 20 is the age of schooling and growth. The next season is the summer of value. And that's where we are today and what we're talking about. The summer of the value of your 20s to your 40s. The next is the autumn or fall of dominion, where you are harvesting what you sowed in the summer in your 40s to your 60s. And then the last stage, which is the dwindling down stage, the winter of legacy, which is after you've succeeded after 60 to death. Between 60 until you die, you should be building your winter of legacy and transferring your legacy to the world. So if you don't sow in the summer of your 20s, you will beg in the fall of your 40s or walk desperately behind. So this video will show you things you must do in your 20s. And since we're talking about 20s, I'm going to show you 20 things you'll do in your 20s that will make your 40s like heaven on earth. And the first one, which if you forget everything we say today, please get this image into your head. If you can get only this image into your head today, you can walk away fulfilled. This is the 5% of this video that determines the 95% value, and that is find your purpose. No man was put on earth without a reason, and the reason you are put on earth is determined by the 3 circles of purpose. The first circle is the most thing you have the most ability. Every human being has something they can do so well that is valuable. That ability must be the one that is most paid for anywhere in the world, and that ability must be the most in demand anywhere in the world. Just like myself, I have the ability to speak, but Jim Rohn said something about speaking. He said, speaking ensures survival. Speaking well ensures success. So when I discovered my purpose was to talk, I asked myself, what is the most talking ability I have? Talking. What is the highest paid talking ability in the world? Sales and marketing. Where is it in most demand? Especially in high ticket industries. And that's how I became a property marketing guru known as your real estate success strategies. And that's why I tell people that I don't have a handwork, I only have a mouthwork. So my purpose is to change the world with words. So you must find the 3 circles of the congruence of what you have the most ability for, that is most paid for, that is most in demand. Once you do that, you've found your purpose in your 20s. And the second thing you do is find your passion. Many people think that passion is what you love. No, passion is what you love that has value that you can never stop loving. So I call it love in unstoppable motion. So of that your purpose, where is it most deployed that you are ready to die for? And for me, the area my talking is most deployed, I'm ready to die for, my sales and marketing, is real estate or housing. So you must find where you have the passion to die for, what's your purpose. Because Martin Luther King said that he that has not found what to die for has not found what to live for. So, and sometimes you might not be able to find your passion or even know your purpose. So the third thing you do in your 20s, which is very important, is that you must experiment a lot and fail fast. What this means is that you must do a lot of things. It is the knowing is in the doing. If you don't know your purpose, go out there and do so many things and experiment and fail and know which of the things that are your purpose. Because sometimes the things we think are our passion, one failure will kill that passion. Remember, passion is love in unstoppable motion. If your purpose is not worth 10,000 failures to keep pursuing that purpose, then it's not your purpose. And sometimes you will never really know until you go out, fail, and then you discover, oh, I can't continue this. Because if failure discourages you from the pursuit of your purpose, that is not your purpose. So find your purpose by experimenting and failing fast. By doing three things, you have to do more. Then you have to cry and sulk less, because you're still young. You don't have collateral damage, people that will be affected by your failure. So don't cry, shake off yourself and rise up and move again. And I love that from kids. If you see where kids are playing, when they fall, they don't end the play and cry all day. They wake, stand up, cry a bit, shake off themselves, and get right back to playing. And that's what you should be doing in your 20s, in experimenting and learning and failing fast. So you must start again more intelligently. Please, starting all over or repeating your failure is insanity if you are not starting all over more intelligently. The word is called a mistake. You miss the target, that means you failed. You take the lesson or the intelligence, that means you took something. If you miss the target and miss the lesson, it's not a mistake, it's a tragedy. So make sure you take golden lessons from all your failures and start more intelligently. The fourth thing you need to do is invest in skills, not just degrees. Most people, after they have gotten their first degree in their early 20s, continue to pursue degrees. Beautiful, but don't be a perpetual student. Get some skills and begin to pursue your skills. Your skills is your ability, not your degrees. There is no ability called or skill called PhD. That's just a degree. So you use degrees for access. For instance, you finish your first degree in Nigeria and you know that doing your master's in Harvard will give you access to more marketers and salespeople all over the world, and you want to take your business global. You can now do the degree for the access, but let it be the access for your skills. So if you don't educate your skills, you won't know what to do with the access. So use degrees to validate your character. Most people, one of the most valuable things that school does is to validate your character, because if you go to school and make a first class, you are telling the world that I have the diligence, the character of diligence and discipline to study and focus on what I came. But if there's no skill to convince and market the world to that, if I can focus on my studies and make first class, I can focus on these skills and be first class in it. That's what your degree does for your skills. So you must have degrees as well as skills. And number 5, this is where a lot of young people miss it. As a matter of fact, during our live presentation, someone asked a very fundamental question on this 5th thing you should be doing in your 20s, which is building deep, meaningful relationship. And I said, find the worthy and then be the best friend, be the giver and the server. The most important relationship you can build in your 20s is who you decide to marry. Your 40s, Your life, your destiny, and everything else is determined by who you decide to marry. Marriages have ruined more lives than marriages. Most times when one marriage breaks, maybe 10 or 12 lives have been ruined, not just the two people involved. So before you decide, find the person that is worthy. And in fact, if we talk about how to choose a spouse, we'll be here for another 1 hour. But one of the simplest formula is decide who your dream spouse will be and decide who you will become to attract that dream spouse. For instance, you want to marry a president as a woman. You know no president will marry a woman that does not have the qualities of a first lady. So for you to attract a presidential man, you must become a first lady. So it's what you become that determines what you attract. And then if you're not inspecting what you're getting, you will settle for less than you are supposed to get. So as a woman and as a man in your 20s, you decide that you only want kings. If riffraffs come, don't settle for them because of the desperation of loneliness. Reject the riffraffs until your kings come. So build meaningful relationship. But outside marriage, the most important relationship you have to build is friends and customers. So begin to build friends with your customers and begin to build a team of customers that will become your friend. Because Henry Ford that once said that friendship built on business is better than business built on friendship. So that means if your customers become your friends, they'll become better people, the relationship, than when your friends become your customers. So focus on building meaningful relationship. Be the best friend, be the best giver, be the best server, because as Zig Ziglar said, service to many leads to greatness. So in your relationship, be known to be the one that serves it. Master time management. The one word for mastering time management is focus. Focus means follow one course until successful. Then when you focus, you play. Make sure you play in your 20s. You rest. Make sure you rest in your 20s, and then you work. And if you ask me the proportion, it is the 80-20 Pareto's principle. Work 80% of the time, rest 10%, and play 10%. And rest must never be your goal. If you are resting all day, you are in your 20s. You're already wasting in your 20s. Work should take 80% of your time in your 20s. Number 7 is read more than you scroll. Reading should be your lifestyle, and reading begins after school. What you do in school is called studying to pass exam. What you do after school is called studying to learn or studying to earn. So you find your reading style, whether you read in the afternoon, in the morning, or in the evening. Find your time, whether you read for 30 minutes, 1 hour, and if you decide the time, do it daily, every day. Apart from reading helping you to earn, your most important asset as a human being and in your 20s is your mind. How you think in your 20s will determine what will happen to you in your 40s. Remember, as a man thinketh in his 20s, so he is in his 40s. And more than what reading does to you, reading exercises your brain, just like exercising exercises the body. And Mark Twain said, he who does not read is not different from he who cannot read. So if you don't read in your 20s, you are telling your parents that they wasted their money sending you to school, because there's no difference between you and an illiterate who cannot read. But number 8, which is very crucial in this AI age, is be curious. In the AI age, the new intelligence is curiosity, or how to ask questions. Because it is the question you ask AI that will determine the result AI will give you. The same AI you ask stupid questions that will give you stupid answers is the same AI that will give a smarter guy smart answers that will help him make money. So in this AI age, curiosity is the new wisdom and discipline is the new intelligence. This is so important. In the AI age, the temptation is for us to do less. And the less we do, the more the depressions and the more the failures. Because knowing more and doing less causes depression, because knowledge that is not implemented becomes a burden. So because we leverage on artificial intelligence, the more we know, the more we are expected to do. And it is only people that have the discipline to turn all that intelligential resources into action and discipline that will be the new leaders and the new intelligent people. And in your 20s, the weakest currency of success is hoping things work. Don't hope things work in your 20s. The strongest currency of success is knowing how things work. Find out how things work in your 20s by being curious, researching, finding mentors, finding books, asking AI the right question, and having the discipline to do them until they work for you. Number 9 is learn how money works. This is so important. If you don't even know how every other thing works, you must learn how money works in your 20s, because your journey towards financial freedom in your 40s is determined by what you do with money in your 20s. And there are 3 things you need to do with money in your 20s for you to be rich, happy, and settled in your 40s. Number 1 is pay yourself first. Live below what you're getting. In your 20s, sometimes you're not earning, but you get gifts from your friends, your uncles, and people give you money. When you get money and you spend all of it because you say, this is not part of my earning money, you're of all people most foolish. As a matter of fact, money you get in your 20s, you should even look for how to invest it all, because you never earned it. So somebody gives you 100K, invest it all and ask yourself, what if he didn't give you? Won't you survive? So learn how to live below your means and invest by paying yourself first. A part of everything you get must go into your investments. Then increase your earning ability. If in your 20s you're still living with your parents and not earning any money, you should be ashamed of your 20s. Go find something doing that can increase your earning ability. And then when you earn money, don't save too much or be too cautious in your 20s. Risk it all. If you're a real estate success strategist or you're a real estate agent, put all your money in your business. All of it. Invest it more in your business. And this is a rule of thumb. If you're not making up to ₦1 million a month from your business, invest more in your business than you invest in any other investment in the world, because your business will do the number 2 thing, increase your earning ability. Number 10, start a side hustle. But please, don't let your side hustle put you on the side. Make sure you do 3 things. Think of immediate menial opportunity. It must not be dignified. Start menial side hustles. Think of monetizing your hobbies. If you already have a hobby, think of which of your hobbies can people pay for. If your hobby is cleaning your house, leave your house, go clean a neighbor's house for money. And then it must be integratable into your purpose. Remember the first slide on purpose. If your side hustle will distract you from your purpose, please leave the side hustle and find another side hustle that can blend with your purpose. Number 11, learn how to sell and market. The most fundamental skill I'll tell every 20-year-old is whatever the skill you're doing in this world, you must learn how to sell. If you're a coder, if you don't know how to sell your codes, you won't make money. If you're a cleaner, you don't know how to sell your services, you won't make money. If you're a caterer, you don't know how to sell your services or your food, you won't make money. Everything in life is selling. And there's a book by Napoleon Hill called Selling Your Way Through Life. You should read that book. And another book by Napoleon Hill said, Outwitting the Devil. If you read this book, you avoid the one evil of your 20s. So face your fear of asking. Learn how to go and sell. Get rejected more. In your 20s, you have no reputation. So if people reject you, they don't know you, nothing happens. You have nothing to lose. So go out and get rejected in your 20s. And then master the word no. No means next opportunity. And there's 2 ways to master no. By knowing the meaning that it means next opportunity. And the supreme mastery of no is turning no to yes through persistent niceness. You can be so nice to someone that said no to you that he later changes his mind to say yes. You have mastered no. And number 12, start investing early. Compound interest is your friend. So find a vehicle that is simple, secured, and sustainable that you start compounded. Have you heard about the story of the compounding penny? Somebody was asked, For you to take $3 million and 1 penny that doubles in value daily for 31 days, which do you prefer? Most people took the 3 million. But if you take 1 penny and you double it every day for 31 days, it becomes $10.5 million in 31 days. But $3 million, it becomes almost 3 times this if you double it in 31 days. So the earlier you begin to compound, the better. And the vehicle must be something simple, secure, and sustainable. If you don't know any other vehicle, come to the Mayor of Housing. Real estate is simple, secure, and sustainable. Surround yourself with smarter people. Use the law of association and don't let the law of association use you. As a matter of fact, this is one thing that kills most people's lives in their 20s, when you hang out with the wrong people, because the law of association says you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with, not just your friends, content, books, and everything you consume. So surround yourselves with smarter friends and better friends. Surround yourself with smarter books and better books. Surround yourself with smarter content. The last one is where a lot of us are sucked in. When you are consuming comedy content all day on YouTube, you are becoming a 40s of comedy. Your brokenness will be so funny that people will laugh at you at 40. So there's a rule of thumb. It's called the Pareto's principle, or the Brian Tracy E to E ratio. Education to entertainment. I'm not saying don't watch comedy. I even do comedy on this channel called The Funny Side of the Mayor of Housing, because I'm a funny person. But it's called the E to E ratio. Education to entertainment. Education should take 80% of your time on the internet, and 80% of the content you consume should be educational content that teach you. That's E. And 20% of your time should be entertainment. But most poor people have it upside down. Rich people use 80% of their time for education and 20% of their time for entertainment. Poor people use 80 to 100% of their time for entertainment. And that's why Jim Rohn said, rich people have big libraries, poor people have big TVs. So please, your friends, your books, and your content, and your association, hook up. There's a word that has been abused in Nigeria called hook up. Hook up to things that are higher. Don't hook down and don't hook sideways. Number 14, build a personal brand. When people hear personal brand, they think it's logo. No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about you. Develop you enough for people to want to know you. Distinguish you enough for people to want to know you. And distribute you enough for people to actually know you. So do not desire to be known, but to be worthy of being known. Ask yourself, what can you develop in you that will be worthy of being known? One person that has used this very well in Nigeria is the influencer VDM. He first developed his muscles by becoming a bodybuilder, that his muscular development distinguishes him. Then he started by his content by going to be a voice to the voiceless that makes him worthy of being known, and then he's distributing that platform to every other place and running around and making more people know him. So build your personal brand, number 14. Number 15, learn emotional intelligence. This is very important. In your 20s, you have nothing to lose, so dare to have more experiences. Even the things you think are not good, try them. If you want to know, if you've never smoked before and you want to know how smoke, like me, when I was in my early 20s or in second or my teen ages, when I took my first pop of cigarette and I coughed, I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this at all. When I took my first shot of hot spirit and it burnt my chest, I said, I don't need this. Why are you guys doing this? It's peer pressure that is making you burn your chest. So now they crazy. So learn more experiences so that you have the pros and cons of experiences and choose what really gives you pure experiences. Take more responsibility. So in all your experiences, make sure you take more responsibilities in your 20s. You should be the hero of your house in your 20s, the hero of your family, the hero of your village that will say, I will solve what the others or my parents could not solve. And then appreciate more and complain less. In your 20s, the more you complain, the more you are contracting your 40s. The more you appreciate, the more you are expanding your 40s. And 16, be consistent in one thing valuable. Find the skill, find the business, find the passion to do the dedicate. The dedicate is dedicating a decade to that one thing. Like me, I dedicated a decade to training my mouth work in sales and marketing from 2015 to 2025, that today, when I talk to you about any product, you buy before you even think about it. And then mastery. Make sure you master that one thing you have dedicated yourself to by putting in 10,000 hours of practice into that thing, and then be known for it. That's why I'm known as the mayor of housing, because I'm not the mayor of housing because I was appointed. I'm the mayor of housing because my mouth work in marketing and sales of properties have given me dominion of the housing sector. So 17, take care of your body and mind. This is very important. Just have an athletic 20s. It will help your healthy 40s. The less you move in your 20s, the less you can move in your 40s. The more you move in your 20s, the more you can move in your 40s. Sweat more. The more you sweat in your 20s, the more sweet your 40s. The less you sweat in your 20s, the more you sweat in your 40s. Then watch your mouth. The more healthy things you eat in your 20s, the more healthy you'll be in your 40s. The more you eat junk, or the more you put junk in your trunk in your 20s, the more your trunk will stink in your 40s, and your trunk is your body. Don't put junk in your trunk. Then document number 18, document your goals and achievements. The faintest ink is stronger than the strongest mind. So if you think it, ink it. So whatever you think about, you ink it. Apart from setting goals, having a journal where you write things is very important in your 20s. Journal your journey and then set goals and achievements. And then do 3 things to your goals. Plan your goals, do your goals, review your goals. Plan your goals, do your goals, review your goals. One of the greatest success hack that has been discovered by one of the greatest success coaches of the century, Brian Tracy, after almost 47 years of coaching, is that if you can just write your goals out every day, you will be a success. So every day you wake up, get a plain sheet of paper, write your 10 goals, and then anytime you can write those 10 goals in the same order without looking at the one you wrote yesterday, you have already started making those goals a reality, and your life will find a way of getting those goals for you. Number 19, dare to serve others. In your 20s, please don't be selfish. Volunteer, give, and then mentor. This is very important. And lastly, number 20, build digital assets. A lot of people will tell you that content has replaced your 9 to 5. So while you're working, make sure you build digital assets in your 20s. Imagine if I started this YouTube channel in my 20s. By the time I'm 46 right now, this YouTube channel would have been world class. One of the greatest YouTubers in the world, Mr. Beast, he started his YouTube channel at the age of 13, and he was so obsessed about building his YouTube channel that even his mom got angry with him. He left school and he decided he would be a YouTuber, and how he was talking about YouTube. Today, he has almost 400 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's the first content billionaire in the world that became a billionaire just from content. Another example in Nigeria is Linda Ikeju. In her 20s, she started blogging, and then today the rest is history. She's one of the richest bloggers in Africa. So produce more than you consume on the internet, because we are in the internet of things. You almost cannot exist without internet. Instead of just consuming on the internet, produce. Set trends and ride on trends, but don't follow trends. So instead of looking for the next big trend to follow, dare to look for the next big trend to set or to ride upon to make money through. And then use the internet. Don't let the internet use you. If you are not making more money from the internet than you are spending on your data, the internet is using you. If you are making more from the internet than your data. One of my beautiful followers on Facebook just said she calculated what she has spent on data recently and the figure scared her. So calculate what you spend on data every month on the internet and check what you've made from the internet in education and profit. If what you are making in education and profit is not worth more than the data, then the internet is using you. Bonus points, those are the 20 points, but I'm giving you this bonus point that is the one thing that if you can do in your 20s, your 40s will thank you for it, is defer gratification. You defer gratification by sowing the seeds of gratification for a multiplied gratification tomorrow, and stay rooted in your faith and purpose. Remember, the first thing I said in this whole video is the 3 circles that helps you find your purpose. And you must believe that purpose. Stay rooted in your belief in yourself, your belief in God, your belief in purpose, and pursue it no matter how many failures you have to go through along the way. So delayed gratification should be rightfully called multiplied gratification, because whatever you delay in your 20 will come multiplied in your 40. And premature enjoyment hampers full enjoyment. I've seen a lot of people living fake, luxurious lives in their 20s without having any root and foundation of wealth. And then in their 40s, they are begging and wishing that they didn't do all that. So real enjoyment is delayed enjoyment. And we're going to rush through the 20 things to avoid in your 20s. And if you avoid this, and do the 20 I've told you, you will avoid a 40s of regret. Number 1 is living for Instagram likes. People don't, it doesn't matter whether you get 1 like or 1,000 likes. It doesn't affect your life. Rather, instead of likes, be looking for followers that will give you money, and what content you have that is valuable, that will make you money. And number 2, stop wasting money on trends and cloud. Number 3, stop comparing your journey to others. You are unique. There's no one like you. Stop ignoring your wealth. Number 4, stop not saving or investing. Stop spending it all. Start saving and investing. Number 6, stop clubbing every weekend with no plan. Number 7, stop getting stuck in toxic relationship. Don't go where you are tolerated. Go where you are celebrated, and become worthy to be celebrated. If the relationship does not celebrate you, they are fired. Number 7, stop working on the job you hate for too long. The menial job and the jobs you hate is to raise the capital for the job you love. So I have a quote that says, working at a job or work you don't like without saving for the one you love or like is not making ends meet, is making ends split. So stop working at a job you hate for too long. Stop saying yes to everything. You don't need to attend all parties. You don't need to be part of everything. Stop chasing shortcuts to success. I have a quote that says, the longest route to success is through a shortcut. Stop chasing shortcuts. Number 11, stop depending on your parents financially forever. Once you are 18, stop taking money from your parents and go make money. There are menial jobs you can do and make money. Number 12, stop living without goals. Without goals, you live like a goat. Not the goat of Messi and Ronaldo, the goat of meh. Number 13, stop refusing to learn. If you stop refusing to learn new things, you will die in your 20s. Not death of physical death, but death of your dream life. And number 14, stop. If you are not taking feedback in your 20s, you don't want to grow. Growth is simply the taking of feedback. Number 15, stop being afraid to start. You are 20 for God's sakes, or you are 20 something. Nobody will die if you fail. Nobody will even notice if you fail. Stop taking yourself too seriously and get out there and fail. Number 16, stop ignoring mentors. Number 17, stop being always busy but not productive. Activity is not value. Productivity is value. It is not what you do, but the result that comes out of it. So the name of the game is not activity, but results. So stop being busy. If you are busy without results, you are being wasteful. Number 18, stop living without structure or schedule. Number 19, stop borrowing to flex. In fact, don't borrow in your 20s. If you cannot produce it, you don't deserve it. Number 20, if you are not tracking your habits and growth, then you would regret in your 40s. But the bonus of all this, I already talked about this book. The devil's greatest weapon to steal your 20s is one word, and it's found in this one book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. All of you should get this book. There's a book I always talk about in my content called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's the greatest book on success ever written. He also wrote Outwitting the Devil, because the devil is out to steal your 20s, and his greatest weapon is one word: drifting. If you are moving without goals, structure, aim, destination, and target, you have wasted, or you are wasting your 20s. There are 40 brutal consequences in your 40 that if you waste your 20s will be the consequences. So the consequences of enjoying and flexing your 20 without planning for your 40s is: number 1, midlife crisis; number 2, regret and what if syndrome; number 3, health breakdowns; number 4, debt overload. I'm a victim of debt overload. Number 5, stuck in a job you hate. Many 40-somethings are working at jobs they don't like. Number 6, divorce or toxic marriage. Because they didn't choose their right partners in their 20s, they are with people they hate and they end up divorcing. Number 7, poverty mindset. Number 9, no savings or emergency fund. 95% of 40-year-olds don't have up to 1 million naira in their account saved. Number 9, living with your parents. Anybody living with your parents above 40 is a fool forever. Number 10, no personal brand or legacy. Number 11, mental breakdowns. Number 12, fear of risk. Number 13, envy of your younger achievers. 40-year-olds envy a lot of 20-year-olds that are achieving, but they cannot come out to say it. Number 14, childish habits you should have outgrown. If you miss to develop in your 20s, you'll be living your 20s in your 40s. Lack of confidence, deep insecurity, no investment or assets, stagnant career, resentment towards your past self for the past mistake and the past chances you blew. One of those chances is that watching the video by My Age China and taking no action. Hey, sorry to just interrupt that wonderful teaching I was giving, but we're building the most educative and most generous YouTube channel in Africa to put a gold mine in your mind and to put a dime in your pocket, because we believe that without the mind, money is not sustainable, and with all the mind and no money, you won't be able to multiply what you know. So please, if you've got value from this business so far, it will help this channel a lot if you can hit the subscribe button so that YouTube can recommend this to more people. And if you found value so far in this video, please hit the like button. And if the value is enough for you to make money, that's if the value is something monetizable, then share the video with all your friends so that we can share the money together. And I have a 90-day promise that says, if in 90 days of consuming my content, your life has not changed enough for you to make up to $10,000 with the knowledge you've gained from here, you can unsubscribe by then. But for now, subscribe so that more people can get this opportunity. Are you subscribed? 20, addiction or escapism. Number 21, depression. Number 22, living paycheck to paycheck. 23, blaming others. Lame people blame people, and lame people cut off all their opportunities in their 20s, and they are so lame they are blaming in their 40s. Number 24, constant self-doubt. Number 25, poor credit score. Number 26, chronic procrastination. Number 27, anxiety about the future. 28, toxic relationship or friendship circles. One of the most dramatic scenes I see in Nigeria is where an intelligent graduate that graduated in colors but plays with his 20s is so depressed and frustrated in his 40s that he's meeting with the village NFA drunk. NFA means no future ambition drunk at the bar to discuss the failure of Nigerian politics over a few bottles of beer. What a waste and what a toxic friendship circle. Number 29, wasted talent. Number 30, lack of identity. Number 31, forgotten dreams. Number 32, no financial independence. In fact, the financial independence to be yourself and decide for yourself what you want in your 40s is what makes you a 40-year-old. Then number 33, dependence on luck. Any above 40 that is still playing any of these online betting things and hoping to still win and crying that his game cut is not serious. Number 34, fake lifestyle pressure. Number 35, disconnected from purpose. Number 36, no mentorship lineage. If you're at 40, you've not started mentoring anybody that you can show this is my mentee. Sorry, no mentorship lineage is a problem above 40. Number 37, regret of not starting a business. Number 38, this is very strong. FOMO turned to MOFO. The fear of missing out is the strongest fear in the world today. And yours at 40 has turned to fear of missing out forever. You know that you can never ever. For instance, football. If you were a talented footballer in your 20s and you were actually playing for a football club and making the money and blowing the money instead of investing it in real estate. In your 40s, you just discovered you don't have the legs to play again. And you cannot go back to get those salaries again and invest them again. And you've missed out on football forever. It's a terrible feeling. Number 39, feeling too late to start. The greatest combination I see in 40-year-olds is age pride with result infancy. Age pride with result infancy. Do you know how old I am? Show more age mini. You are saying you are 46, but you've not even produced the result of a 21-year-old. So you are feeling too proud to start and go and start carrying wheelbarrow at 46. But you are so broke that a barrow pusher makes more money than you. And it's terrible at 40-something. Number 40, crying alone in the car. Most of them might not have a car and wondering where what time went. Most 40-year-olds are just, instead of appreciating their closeness to the golden stage of 50-year-old, they are scared at how did all these years just go by because you wasted them. Let me tell you what Jim Rohn said. What's easy to do is easy not to do. It's easy to do the 20 things I told you to do in your 20s and to plant your 20s. It's also easy not to do them and waste them. But the bonus of the greatest consequence of throwing away your 20s and what will happen to you in your 40s is the devil's greatest shame and embarrassment to your 40s is just one word: begging. If you've never known the shame and the pain of having to beg in your 40s, having to beg your mates or beg your juniors or beg anybody at all in your 40s, having to beg for your wife and kids to eat, having to beg in your 40s is the greatest shame and pain. I never added perfection to the list of the things you need to do in your 20s. Your 20s are not about being perfect, but being intentional and planting, because life won't reward you for being busy, but for being purposeful and planting. If you want a rich, fulfilling harvest of your 40s, spiritually, financially, and mentally, your 20s is your decade to plant those seeds. In essence, all I just said is that if you plant in your 20s, you reap in your 40s. And if you plant nothing in your 20s, you reap nothing in your 40s. If you plant casualness in your 20s, you reap casualty in your 40s. If you plant no plants for your 40, you harvest no plants in your 40s. So remember, your 20s is the seed, your 40s is the harvest. And a harvest is 1,000 times bigger than the seed. So what you reap in your 40 is 1,000 times bigger in pain or in joy, in negative seeds or positive seeds. The vices you show in your 20s will be 1,000 times more in your 40s. So your 20s is the seed of your 40s, and it's a choice between two pains: the pain of discipline and regret. If you sow discipline in your 20s, you will avoid regret in your 40s. As Jim Rohn said, we must all suffer one or two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces, while regret weighs tons. Choose today the simple single ounces of discipline in your 20s or the hurtful, heavy, embarrassing tons of regrets in your 40s. Very heavy. Or it's never too late to start, so you can still start again in your 40s. And the pain of starting over and behaving like a 20-year-old in your 40s and doubling the discipline is so painful that it's easier for you to start in your 20s because action is easier, earlier. It's never too late to start, but the younger you are, the easier it is to take action. You are younger today than tomorrow. So it's easier for you to take action today than tomorrow. One of the verses of the Bible that I didn't understand until I understood the energy of youth. You will not always be this strong. I was shocked that I was doing 100 press-ups in my early 20s. But in my 40s, I had stopped press-ups for a long time. I tried and I couldn't do 10 press-ups. I was shocked. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You used to be footballers and you play for 90 minutes and still have strength to play a second match. But the next time you entered into the football pitch in your 40s, in 5 minutes, it felt as if your chest and your heart was gonna burst. That is the incapacity of the days of lack of youthful energy. This verse in the Bible caught my attention. It said, obey your Lord in the days of your youth, before the evil times come when you say, I have no pleasure in them. I was like, is there a time that it will be hard for you to obey God? I found out that it's easier and it's more zealful, joyful, and easier to move in your 20s and do anything you want to do in your 20s. You can jump night bus from here to Lagos in your 20s. You can enter 911 from here to Lagos in your 20s. It's easier for you to go and carry the block industry in your 20s and to do that in your 40s. So start now. And if you start today, then I will see you at the top. Thanks. We live in a life where people just live as if they own life, as if there is another life to be lived other than this life. I am so curious sometimes that I ask people, has anybody ever died and come back? Has anybody ever gotten a second life? The last time I checked, we only have about 50 to 70 years of a lifespan and about 60 years of active lifespan. And if you check those 60 years, they are made up of 3 major seasons. From 0 to 20 is your season of learning and discovering yourself. From 20 to 40 is the season of value and building your value. From 40 to 60 is the season of dominating your value. 60 upwards is the season of legacy that you are not even assured of living up to 60. And when people die before 60, we cry and mourn, but we said it cannot be us. If Diogo Jota of Liverpool was told that he will be no more today as we are talking, he'll tell you, God forbid. So life is not so much how many years you live, but how many lives in the years. Some people live to be 60 and it was 60 years of complaining and bickering. Some people live 30 and it's 30 years of impact, influence, and possibilities. The greatest challenge of life is not for you to see what you can make out of life. The greatest challenge of life is for you to see what you can make out of yourself. The greatest miracle of life is you. God has put in so much potential, abilities, capabilities, and possibilities in you. When Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire at the age of 19, you shouldn't say it is him. One of the things that derail us most in our 20s is when we think others are exceptional. We are not exceptional. When young athletes that are footballers at the age of 17, Lamine Yamal,
is already breaking records at the age of 17. You say that is Lamine Yamal. That is not me. Whatever any human being can do, another human being can do it. The difference is field. While Lamine Yamal might be gifted in football, you are gifted in something. The greatest place filled with treasure on earth. So unfortunately, it's supposed to be the emptiest place on earth, but it's the richest place on earth, and that is the cemetery. Because in the cemetery, you have abilities that were never discovered nor developed. You have books that were never written nor sold. You have monies that were never made nor given. You have dreams that were never fulfilled nor passed down. We have knowledge that were never developed nor taught. We have a lot of undeveloped potential in the cemetery. Not because God designed us to die with our gifts, but God designs us to come into the world to be fruitful and multiply our abilities. But instead of us to be fruitful and multiply, we come and become fearful and complain. In your 20s, there are two options you have. It's a fork road of one road of complaining and fear and waste your life, because you not only waste your 20s, you also waste your 40s. So this topic is not supposed to be your 20s or your 40s. It is actually supposed to be your 20s and your 40s, because what you sow in your 20s, you reap in your 40s, you enjoy your 20s and your 40s. What you miss in your 20s, you miss in your 20s, and you also miss in your 40s. You lose your 20s and you lose your 40s. But the second fork road is the other fork road of fruitfulness and responsibility. If you take the responsibility to become fruitful, you will not only sow wonderful seeds in your 20s, but you will make a wonderful harvest in your 40s. That you'll be living life that you'll be wondering, I knew I'll achieve my dreams, but I didn't know I'll achieve them this month. This is exceedingly, abundantly, above all I could imagine, because you did the right thing. All it requires is 10 years. And you have 10 years between your 20s and your 40s. The first 10 years, you should be doing all the experimentation and all the failing. The second 10 years, you should have found yourself and start doing the mastery. By your 40, you are already a master, and you're already making so much money that between 40 and 60, you are dominating. Between 40 and 60, you should be like Jeff Bezos, dominating your industry. You should be like Elon Musk, dominating your industry, because you did the experimentation phase of 20 to 30 and you did the mastery phase of 30 to 40. And guess what? Because most people don't want to do what it takes to succeed, the more dilute of success. If everybody that succeeds gets $1 million and 1 million people refuse to succeed, the person that succeeds will not get $1 million. He'll get $1 billion, because the $999 million of the 1 million people that failed to succeed will be given to him, because the Bible said that if you fail in your 20s, even the little you have will be taken from you and given to those that succeeded in their 20s. There's so much potential in the world. There's so much money waiting in the world. But it's not the world that determines your success. It is you and your choices you make as an adult in your 20s that determines what you will get. I hate the fact that so many of you are so unambitious, undesirous, undriven to come share this loot at the top. I look at the top, there's so much money to be made. And one of the greatest disgusts I have is when I see idiots that are making this money because of political power and other influences. And I wish you could just develop your potential to come share this loot with us. Even finding people that are worthy to share this money with at this top is so scarce, because so many of us refuse to develop our potential. And it's very terrible at the country level, but it's even made worse at the global level, because globally there's more opportunity now than has ever been in the history of mankind. These are the best times to live, that you have AI assistants that can help you discover even things your ancestors only dreamt about is possible. At your fingertip, with one click of a button, you can know more than the whole world knew 100 years ago. But it's not what you know that is important. It's what you do with what you know. And in this new age, discipline is the new intelligence. You don't discipline yourself in your 20s. Not only are you not intelligent, but you are not worthy of any good thing in your 40s. Life is not looking for your needs. Life is looking for your seed, because it's your seed that makes you worthy of a harvest. And the harvest does not go to those that need it. The harvest goes to those that deserve it. If you do the rightful in your 20s, you deserve it in your 40s. So, you heard it. 20 things you need to do in your 20s for you not to regret your 40s. 20 things you need not to do in your 20s for you not to regret your 40s. And 40 heavy regrets you will get in your 40s if you fail to do these things in your 20s. Remember, I said this video is not to scare you, but to prepare you, because when preparation meets opportunity, success is born. And one of the greatest presidents of America that ever ruled America, Abraham Lincoln, he said, if I'm given 8 hours to cut down a tree, I'll spend 6 hours sharpening my saw. So preparation is for you to spend your 20s sharpening your axe, and you are the axe. The sharper you sharpen your axe in your 20s, the easier it will be for you to cut down all obstacles and fly in your 40s. To check out the next video that can help you to fly in your 40s, or if you're already 40, you're wondering what to do to start, click on the link above and I'll see you on the other side.
It is super duper amazing that you found my content valuable enough for you to watch till the end. Only 5% of exceptional people do that. You're exceptional, and I deeply love and appreciate you. Don't just watch to learn, watch to take action. And the first action is subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of our daily value action. Remember, only doers are winners.